Hello vinyl community, this is Chad with CJ's Vinyl, and today, unfortunately, I have something a little bit more unsettling that I need to talk to everyone about. But it's something that needs to be discussed, and this is one of those times in the hobby that there's, kind of a dark area that no one wants to experience. And this is definitely an experience that I've never had before in my life with any kind of transaction, with any kind of company or person or anything. So I mean, this is a first for me, but it's a real problem, and so it does need to be discussed, and that's why I'm making this video. And I'll get into more of what I'm hoping to achieve with this overall after I go over some details that are pretty important here. So the first thing is I had ordered a record from this company. It wasn't just a single person. Believe me, this would be completely different if it was just some jerk that did something. But this was an established company that took some measures with me that were completely out of line, and I want to make sure that I'm warning everyone about this company. The initial order that I placed was back in July of last year, and the album was the It Follows soundtrack. So I had ordered this. They listed it as mint condition, and they said it had never been played, never been taken out. It was only the cellophane wrapping on the outside of the album had been split open to verify the record on the inside. But okay, I like stuff to be sealed when it's mint condition, but I'll just take their word for it. After I got the album, I immediately took it out, verified, and I noticed these scratches on the album, and it was bad. Like, they were very clear. It was like etched on the LP. It looked terrible. I knew it was going to sound bad. So for security purposes, I went ahead and put it on my turntable to spin it so that people, at Discogs or at this other company, if they wanted proof, I could provide it to them that it did not play well. And I have that footage, and I will go ahead and I will play that. So as you can see, the LP is completely, I mean, you can't listen to something like that, not when it keeps hitting that scratched area. It was awful. So I sent it back to them after telling them in my correspondence I had actually said this is definitely not mint. Basically explained to them I would like to have a refund, so if you could just get back with me and let me know, where exactly do you want me to send it back to the original location? Do you have somewhere else you want me to do it? Let's go ahead and get this taken care of. Time went by, didn't hear anything. But anyway, the problem here is they were upset because they said that they didn't think that anything was wrong with it, and it must have been shipping. So they blamed it on shipping. That shipping could not have done this type of scratch that was inside on the LP. But okay, so I didn't really care at that point. All I wanted was to send it back to them, get my refund, and be done with them. So I did. I shipped everything back immediately once they gave me the go-ahead, and then I gave them a tracking number, sent that back, got that all taken care of. Refund finally came in about another week and a half later after it had finally reached them. I had said, could I please have my refund now for this? And then they finally just refunded me. I wanted that all behind me. It was done in my mind. I didn't think there was anything else to do. I thought it was finished. Months had went by. And then on November 17th, I had received, completely out of the blue from them, this was exactly 3 months later, and I get this notification on Discogs, a message from Friends Records, and I was immediately confused, so I opened it right up. The individual from the company sent me this message and said, wow, I recently took this account over from the person who was running it before. This It Follows LP was my personal copy and was sealed until the day that I brought it to my friend running this account to sell it. First of all, that kind of statement doesn't matter, because that doesn't take away from the fact that it was in fact scratched. someone who says that this is their personal copy and it was sealed until the day I brought it to my friend. I mean, it was on their listing that the sleeve had been cut open to verify the LP on the inside, but that was it. They had said that it wasn't played, but it was sliced open. So he goes on, though. This is pure harassment. They say, "You sound like a real piece of work. Please never ever buy from me again. I will not deal with you." I already didn't want to deal with these people. I couldn't believe that they were speaking this way after all this time had gone by. And then they over-exaggerate by my messages that came in. They said, "To get a hold of yourself," even though there was nothing that I had said in any of my messages that were threatening in any way, which I have all of the correspondence right here, ever since the very beginning of the purchase. There's nothing threatening, there's nothing. I explained that there was a problem and that the album was graded as mint and it was definitely not mint. There is nothing in any of my correspondence that is threatening. So the fact that they would tell me to calm down is just weird. I mean, whatever. That's not really the problem of what they said next. "You scare the hell out of me, and this is why the customer is not always right." I'm not sure how I scare them. I'm not someone who's violent. I don't get that. "You sound crazy enough to have damaged this record yourself and use the download card just to have something to complain about. Brutal. You are a punisher. Please stay away." I was completely, I felt frozen in my chair. I couldn't believe that they had made this slander, this claim, "You sound crazy enough to have damaged the record yourself." Why would I want to damage the record that I'm wanting to listen to? Like, why would I want to do that? Why would anyone want to damage the merchandise that they just paid? I mean, I paid $50, including shipping. It was $50 for this record. Why would I want to damage anything? There's no logic in that. It's designed to mess with the senses. Anyway, I finally was sitting there, and after I was done reading over it, I think I read over it twice. I was just completely flabbergasted. I said, "Okay, I have no idea why after all this time, and after we had already completed the transaction and refunds, that you are still contacting me over this. But this is harassment. You should get off of your high horse because I had no plans of contacting you ever again for business or personal messages. However, since you have done this, I will see if there is a way to report you to Discogs, as well as the Better Business Bureau and my YouTube channel to report this inappropriate behavior you have decided to put forth. I did nothing wrong. I ordered an LP from you, I paid immediately, and it was badly scratched after putting it on my turntable, and I saw this scratch. There was nothing that I had done here. I had made a purchase, and then the product came, and the product was damaged badly. I have proof on videos and that I will post on my channel, as you have made the choice to reach out to me and say what you did, and no one else in my 20-year history of online purchases has ever spoke to me the way you have." And I just want to say that doesn't just include Discogs. I mean, my transactions of 20 years that I was referring to, it doesn't matter if this person understands that or not, I order from Amazon, Newegg, Tiger Direct, Cable Wholesale Express, and that goes all the way back to 1997, I think, when I first started those different transactions with those companies. So I went on to say that I would most likely be putting this on my channel because this needs to be talked about to people. People need to be warned about these people. And I said, make no mistake about this, your harassment toward me will not go unnoticed to online communities. And if you continue this slander toward me, I will take legal action against you and your company as well. You have been warned. Cease and desist immediately. So, at that point, nothing else should have happened. I responded, and I was frustrated that I had been spoken to and accused of damaging a product myself when the only thing I did was purchase an album, and the album came, and it was not anything like the listing had said. So to go through that, to have someone treat you that way, I mean, you feel violated. I mean, it is messed up. It's for them to speak the way they do. It's only designed to frustrate and manipulate the other person. I mean, it doesn't do anything to help the situation at all. Especially after all the transactions were all finished and the refund was done, and that was months ago. It was exactly, like I said, 3 months from the dates that I have here on my transactions from the Discogs printout. And this person, being the professional that he or she is, responded and continued the sarcasm and the childish behavior. And this was the last response in the conversation. They said, 20 years, you have 4 reviews. My only regret is that my associate who ran this account before me didn't take the time to leave you a negative review for your irrational behavior. How was my behavior irrational? I mean, you can see, if you go to Discogs on Friends Records feedback, you can see the feedback that I left them. There's nothing irrational about it. It's only the truth. It's physically what happened. And I explained that online. But then they start taking like other, personal attacks too. Like he goes on to make fun of the fact about my YouTube account. He says, I'm sure your YouTube account is all the rage. And then he's like, have a nice life. I asked you not to contact me again. It will be considered harassment. Seriously? You guys were the ones that contacted me. You're not allowed to say that I'm harassing you. I was sitting in the comfort of my home reading 3 months after we were done. And they're staking the claim that I would be the one harassing them. And they're telling me to leave them alone, which is, again, this is something that's only designed to mess with the senses. And then he also goes on to make fun of the fact that I have nothing better to do in Indiana, ? Okay, I'm not sure what Indiana has to do with anything. I mean, it's like he's trying to hit Indiana now for some reason. I have no idea why. I wrote you asking to not purchase anything from me again. Yeah, but you also harassed me. That's the whole point behind your words. I was reviewing the past deadlines of this particular account and came across your insane tirade. There's no tirade. There's nothing here. I had said that I needed to get in touch with them and they were unresponsive, and if this is not taken care of, that I would be contacting Discogs about it. They also say other things like, get a life and stay out of mine. Good day, sir. It's not okay when a company does this. If it's one individual that has some kind of issues or something of their own, whatever, I probably wouldn't even think twice about it. But this is a company. This is an established company that did this to me. And there's a bigger problem here than just the fact that it is happening to me. It's the fact that it's happened to other people too. And I have some of these other negative feedbacks from Discogs. And, I mean, it's the same thing. All of that to say, you guys, I even found out after everything was done that they took the album, the It Follows soundtrack, they reposted the same one again that I had the problem with, the one that was defective and scratched. That was another problem that had to be addressed. You do not take products that are damaged and then try to resell them again, and they still had it listed as mint condition. So I contacted the Federal Trade Commission about this, and I submitted all of my information about what happened, and so I had done that fairly recently, so I'm not sure where exactly that's going to go, but the bottom line is you need to report that kind of stuff. If that happens, and they're going to continue to try and keep reselling it, that's a scam. You are scamming and you are lying to other people online. That's unacceptable for them to be doing that, to continue to try to resell the album after I had sent them information about everything that had happened. And they even had it still listed that the download card was included, even though when I checked it, it was completely expired already. So between everything else that happened, the harassment, the slander, I also contacted Discogs, and I reported them, blocked them, and I also reported them to the Better Business Bureau. All of that to say, Discogs, the Better Business Bureau, the Federal Trade Commission, I feel that I've reported them to the people that need to know all these things, including the vinyl community. What I am asking of you guys from all of this, okay, is that you share the video for me. I would hope that you guys would not purchase from them because they don't deserve this business. I mean, these are people that are clearly extremely cocky. I mean, and that's just sad. When you reach a certain level of success and you treat your customers poorly because, oh, well, we can afford to do it. That's wrong on every level. It's completely unethical. And it messes things up for other people and it puts them through a really negative experience. But to harass people and make slanderous comments toward them, saying that they did something that they didn't, no, that's not okay. And that does need to be addressed, and that does need to be taken into consideration. That does matter. You cannot do that to people. And that is why I wanted to make this video. I would like for the vinyl community to support me in this and to share the video, and there's plenty of other places that you guys can get vinyl records from. I hope that that's helpful. I'm ready to move on and get my channel going again. I had a crazy holiday, and I haven't been posting now for, I think it's probably been like 3 or 4 months now. But I had a crazy busy holiday, and then stuff in life has just been moving really fast as well. So I haven't even done anything on the channel for a while. But I look forward to going back to that again and actually continuing. So thanks again to everyone who has supported me on this. If you want to leave comments below, again, that's always appreciated. I do appreciate people that do support me, and I thank you guys for everything that you've done for me. It means a lot, and I'll see you guys again soon.